Okay, so I am live. I just wanted to come on here and give a Tropics update on the situation down there in the Caribbean. So let me play an intro, and I won't be on here long. But serious situation going on down there. Doesn't seem like it's going to affect any land over here in the continental United States. But I just wanted to give a an update on this potentially catastrophic situation down there. So hold on one second. Let me play my intro. I'll pull up some maps and we'll get going. Hold on a second. Be right back. All right. So we are good to see Mustang. Hey, Mustang, how are you? Good to see you. Hold on a second here. Let me see if I can find. Nope. What this? Yeah, that's good. All right. So, anyways, let me lower this a little bit here. All right. So we're going to go into the tropics for a couple minutes. I want to give an update on. I'm doing well. How are you? Good to see you. Just doing an update on the hurricane that's going on down there in the Caribbean. So let's quickly get to a map. Hold on a second here. Let me just get rid of that for now. I keep fighting around with this thing. Hold on. No. Yeah, that'll work. No, let's do this here. No. Okay, that works. All right. All right, so let me share. I got the maps pulled up. Let me all right, so here's the issue right here. This is a problem here. This is the Caribbean Sea. This is Jamaica here. Turks and Caicos here, I believe. But I'll pull that up in a second. I'm not the greatest on names here on these islands, but this island here is going to get clocked. This is a really intense hurricane here. This is here. So let's get this here. Look at that. That is pretty impressive. This is a potentially catastrophic issue for I believe that's Jamaica right there. I could be wrong, but I'll get a track in a second here. So you see there's great outflow here. You're getting this what they call a buzz saw here. It's been like that for a few days. Whoops, hold on a second. Let me share this. Sorry. Hold on a second. Share screen. All right, so here's our problem right here. Hey Shibby, how are you? Good to see you. Just giving an update on the tropics here. Good to see Mustangs here. We got Shibby here. Shibby, thanks for the warning. It's too funny. So you can see here, this is let me blow this up again. Hold on a second. Why isn't this working for me? Anyways, this is I believe this is Jamaica right here, but let me blow this up here, and you can see this is a pretty serious situation here for these guys. This is a really good intense hurricane here. You're seeing uh, the buzzsaw look here. Beautiful eye wall right there. It's probably going to go through another eye wall replacement cycle here at some point, but it's not moving very fast. It's basically stationary. Been like this for a while, and it's waiting for a couple of these steering currents to try to make an escape up here. But we'll get a forecast in a minute here. But I'm just showing people that this is a potentially catastrophic event for this island right here. And once it moves over here, it gets into Turks and Caicos here, it's probably gonna still be a major hurricane. I don't know um, the intensity once it gets into this outlet here, but let's go to hold on a second. Let me get here's a front that's coming off the coast of the United States right now, and that's obviously there's high pressure in here, but let's this has been there for a while. This has been down in the Caribbean for a while. It started out as a tropical wave here, and then it quickly went from tropical storm, and then a couple days later, it turned into this monster. But you can see on the water vapor, it's really got nowhere to go. There's high pressure to the west of this, high pressure above it, and this front that's coming across. It's kind of keeping this right in this general area here for next foreseeable future. Once this once this front starts to weaken this high pressure here and push this high pressure to the west, I mean to the east, this is going to try to escape out through this path right here. But let's hold on a second here. See the last couple of frames here. Um, this is a 24-hour, but let me do 12 hours here. So I like to put these longitude and latitude lines up to see the wobbles here. So you can see in these last couple of frames, it's been kind of, I don't even want to say moving. It's been like stationary, but it takes like a small little wobble here to um, almost to like a due north pattern. It's almost like been kind of wobbling here. But in this last frame here, it seems like it wants to start maybe lifting a little bit more north here than northwest. So but let me, this is a really good storm here. This is look at all these bands here of heavy, intense thunderheads here, and this is picking up all moisture from everywhere. Look at this beautiful buzz saw here. If there's any shear here, it's going on to the southeast here, but this look at this one thunderhead right there is. Hold on a second. One thunderhead right in here. So as this moves, um, as this starts to move, see that little last kind of right there. So I just put it back on 24 hours and I just rocked it. So as you can see, the last 24 hours it hasn't moved anywhere. It's just stationary. It's what last 24 hours is basically in the same exact location, but you can see a little tiny wobble to the north right there, right there. Um, so anyways, once this lifts and starts to kind of peel off here in the next couple of days, this is really going to bring catastrophic rains, like rains they've probably never seen there before. You're talking, I mean, this is, hold on, let's go back and get out of here. Back to the chat. Second here. Like almost like a deluge of rain. Hey, Peggy, oh, good to see you. I can't believe people are up at this time. My aunt, uncle, cousin, or hubby are at the Excellence Resort in Jamaica in Montego Bay now. Their flight was canceled. That sucks. Gulf of America, yeah, that's right. That family's like in Montego Bay. Let me see if I can hold on a second. The storm is not going to really impact the United States at all. The continental United States pretty much out of this, and because of this front that's coming down in now. But if a lot of people are vacationing down in here, so let me see if I can. Hold on a second here. Let me. What am I doing? I just got home, so bear with me here. Let me share. And I think I can get there from here anyways, but look at this system. Holy shit. All right, so this is as of 6 o'clock, 27th. This was a few hours ago here. So hurricane conditions and destructive. See, this is going to be bad news. Destructive storm surge expected on Jamaica Bay by tonight. What's today? The 27th. By later today. Life-threatening and catastrophic flash. See, this is the problem: the flash flooding and the landslide stuff in portions of Jamaica and southern Hispaniola, also expected. As of 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Monday, so that's a few hours ago, the center of Melissa was located 16.3, so it's right in here, 16.3, 77.7, with movement. See, it's moving really slowly, and that's going to be the problem here. Pressure way down to 926. It was at 947, I think, yesterday when I checked. Maximum sustained winds at about 150 miles an hour, but you're going to get gusts here. These gusts are probably at like 170. So here's the pressure at 11 yesterday, and then at 2 a.m. it's down. So 7 millibars down. So this is a strengthening storm. That's how you can tell if the storm here is. So it's not getting any worse, but I wouldn't be surprised if this eye wall tries to replace itself here in the next few hours here. That's what happens with these things. The more they wobble out here, the more this eye wall tends to close in on itself if it gets any shear from the west. But then it'll replace itself with a much more packed eye wall. So there's the eye wall there, and you can see in that last frame or so some of these clouds starting to wrap around that eye wall. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Okay, so let's go. Here's the air mass here. See, there's high pressure above this too, so that's what's causing this to just basically stay put. If I could, if I could expand this. So you see the outflow here. There's a low pressure here. This is surface low here, and you see this what they call this outflow here. But above this is what they call high pressure. Above this system here, up in the atmosphere, is this high pressure here, and it's causing the system to just basically stay put. It can't. This system here can't go north. It can't go through the high pressure here. Let me see here. So that's why it's basically just not moving anywhere. This is the last 24 hours here. I think this is the last 24-hour loop, and it's just basically it's wobbling a little, but it's not going anywhere. So this is going to be the problem. Once this starts to move closer to Jamaica here, it's not just going to move in here and then just get out of here. It's going to be there for a while. So let's so this is the day convection. So during the day, you're going to see, obviously, with the daytime, you're going to get warmer temperatures during the day and cooler temperatures at night. So that does affect these things a little bit with the intensity of these storms around it. So this is so back here. Yeah, hold on a second. It will always be Gulf of Mexico the same way the situation. That's what I'm saying. It's a Gulf. When our time is Montego Bay in trouble? I'm getting to that. Yeah, this is going to be. They haven't seen stuff like this here for a while. I mean, it's in the Caribbean, but this is a really strange storm because it's formed in the Caribbean. Usually, storms don't usually form in the Caribbean like this here, and when they do, where am I? Right here. They do form here. They usually take more of a western path. They usually follow into the Gulf and then get into the Gulf, and then really become a strange, superstorm here in the Gulf. But this is going to take more of a northern track here, and that's why this is going to come in at a completely different angle to Jamaica here than normal. Usually it goes from east to west here, but the entire island, it looks like, is going to be on what they call the dirty side of the storm here. Most of this, when it comes to hurricanes, you look at a hurricane, and since it's a counterclockwise rotation here, everything to the east of the storm is where most of the impact is going to be, right? If you go point a straight line here to Jamaica here, everything on the eastern side of this is going to be just filling into these bays here a tremendous amount. I mean, you can just imagine all of these thunderheads just pouring a tremendous amount of water into this island here. And I mean, they have things in place to prevent some of these, ocean surge and stuff. But when you're talking about an inundation like this here, it's just impossible to stop that amount of water. So this could be one of those 1 in 100 year kind of storms here. This is all right, but let's go. Hold on a second here. Get out of this here. You're in Kingston, Jamaica. Hello, Cecilia Murray. I hope I said that right. Good to see you. Hold on, I'm getting to that in a second here. I was being Lady Monet. Hey, good to see you. Um, this is going to be a horrible system. There's nothing I can say to minimize that at all. This is. Oh, thank you. Um, Good to see you. First of all, I hope everybody stays safe. What I would do is you got to listen to any type of local officials there, what they're saying. This is probably going to be a really bad storm. There's just no way to, yeah, sugarcoat that. But hold on a second. First of all, let me get rid of my face here. Right here. Uh, let's get a water temperature. This is basically um, the sea surface temperature map of the Atlantic Basin, Gulf, call it what you want, Gulf of whatever, Gulf of Mississippi, I don't care what you call it. Here's the Caribbean here. This is I believe that's Jamaica right there. I'm not really good at these island names here, but I'm pretty sure that's Jamaica right there. Um, uh, here's Africa here. This is Florida. This is the Gulf here. This is Yucatan Peninsula here. There's the Bay of Campeche here. But right in here, if you look, um, you're talking over in the what they call the um, the uh, now I'm drawing a blank here. Uh, the conversion zone, anyways, right here. This is 28, so probably 82, 83 degrees here. But if you get right into where this storm is, right in here, you're talking 85, 86. Some spots maybe be reaching like 87. This is bathwater right in here. So that's what's going on right now is this temperature of these waters here are perfect for this system. It just can't it's feeding off of this warm water, the warm tropical moisture. And these temperatures go down about I think about a mile below the surface, and nothing's been through here. So I mean, we've had a lot of Atlantic activity here, but nothing's come through the Caribbean this year to kind of chill off these waters a little bit. Um, so right now in this general area here, that's why this storm is so bad. I mean, it's probably a category 5 right now. Doesn't look like it's going to, lose any steam in the next day or so. But once it gets crosses over here into the actual Atlantic here, that's when it's going to start to lose some steam because these waters are a little bit cooler here. But let's go back to that's what these systems need. They need at least 78, 79, 80 degrees to sustain kind of like that tropical system. Anything below that, it's basically just a surface low. It's not really tropical at all. But once it gets to 84, 85, that's what they call rapid intensification water. It's so humid. It's awesome. But for tropical systems, that's what so you're seeing one above here, anywhere above two, over in the Gulf here. So it's perfect environment here for this. Yeah, there's no wind shear at all either. So that's not helping any. Let's go in here. Let me how did I do this before? Give me 2 seconds here. I wonder if they've been in here, right? So let's see if I can get. I don't know if they have the. They probably don't. I'm trying to get the pass throughs by the latest on the hurricane hunters, but since the government is shut down, I don't know if they have the latest. Yeah, they don't have the latest, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, which sucks because I really wanted to do that. This is a different system here. Um, okay, sorry. I was trying to get you the wind speeds in the system here, but I can't. Um, all right, so let's go back to the chat for a second here. It's slowly moving because let me show that. A second here. We go to I'll try to get a buoy report there. All right, so here's so this is basically coming out of the Caribbean. This is actually let me do sorry, hold on a second. That's America. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, my computer's all right, so this is the entire Atlantic basin here. Well, not the entire Atlantic basin, but this is what's going on here. And if you watch this storm, this front that's kind of off the coast of the United States here, and if you watch it lift around this system here is lifting around this high pressure here that's basically called the Bermuda High. It sits over here in the Atlantic all year long, pretty much. And then there's another high pressure here over in the Gulf. And that's the steering currents for this system here. So the high pressure systems act as like a stop sign. So this is a low pressure here, so it can't go north right now. It's basically um, there's basically nowhere for this system to really go. So that's why it's just meandering in here. But once this system here, this low pressure here, starts to move its way off the coast here, it's probably going to try to weaken some of this high pressure here, and that's what's going to cause this thing to really um, take off here at some point back into the Atlantic. But until then, this is just going to kind of meander here until it starts its movement to the north. And hopefully, once that does happen, once it starts to move to the north here, thing gets out of here because the longer it stays in this area here, especially once it starts to move closer to Jamaica, if this stays here for day or so, you're talking about life, definitely life-threatening, surge, rain, flash flooding, landslides, all of that. I mean, it's capable. So let's what I want to do now. Hold on one second here. Let me you can see it better here with the water vapor. This is what I use usually when I'm trying to track some of these storms because the water vapor will show you where all these currents are, where all these are. So you see high pressure here, which is you know, clockwise, and low pressure goes counterclockwise. So you see, there's drier here. The drier air here is definitely signaling to me that there's high pressure here. There's another high pressure system here. There's your low pressure here that's drawing up some of these uh, storms here across the southeast here in the next couple of days or so. But once this system here starts to move into this general area here off the coast, it's probably going to weaken this system here just enough, the high pressure here, for this to kind of make an escape route out to sea here. But let's get out of this here. John Paul's here. Hey, John Paul, good to see you. Yeah, the problem with it, the other problem with it lingering there for a long period of time is it goes through what they call an upwelling. If it stays there too long, it could weaken because you think of these systems as pulling water up from. I mean, it's really basically just kind of grabbing all of the water, bringing it up, and it comes down. Brings it up, comes down, and they call that upwelling. So over time, what happens? It brings all this warm water up into the clouds. The clouds bring it back down. It starts to cool down the more it does that. And if it stays in one long period of time, Grandma Sherry's here. Carrot is here. Good to see Carrot. So that's what they call that, more of an upwelling type system here. But let's hold on. Let me get out of here. Let's get a forecast. I had to do something on this here because it doesn't affect the United States, but I mean, there are people who vacation. So, if you have family or share screen. All right, so we'll get a forecast here. Um, Sorry, my computer's slow. Really slow. All right, here we go. We'll do the GFS first. I won't get the latest one because won't be out yet. But here, so this is the 7-day. This is the single model GFS, the 7-day track of this system here. So this is basically their latest track of where this is going to go, and I'll rock this here. So I'll try to get hold on a second. So previous previous. Okay, so today it's so today's Monday. Okay, so today's Monday. Here's where we are right this very second. Today's Monday, and here's the system here. Here's this is, I believe this is Jamaica right here. So this is where the system is here. It's probably about, I don't know, 200-300 miles out from where Jamaica is. But if we go the next screen, so this is valid through Monday noontime, I think, 10:27. So let's go next. Oop, sorry. So next, later in the afternoon, it's basically still going to be where it is, just maybe a little bit due west of that. So let's go. This is Valent 2 10 20. So the 6 hour forecast. Next, we got 12-hour forecast. Now it's going to start to make that kind of northern, and I put they have the longitude and latitude lines here too. So by the 12-hour forecast, we're going to be going due north, basically due north. Don't count on this. This is just their this I will do the combination forecast here, but this is the GFS. Let's go. Oh, I keep doing that. All right, so 18-hour forecast from now, it's going to be basically you'll be feeling impacts to the western part of and the eastern side is where you got to be careful. So if this storm hits, say, to this westernmost portion of Jamaica here, on the eastern side of the dirty side is where the effects are probably going to be more significant. And this is 18 hours from now. Then we'll go one more. So we're talking 24 hours, and this is the problem here. This movement here is what's scaring me because this movement, usually in a 24-hour forecast, this thing's already out into the Atlantic, but this is very, very slowly approaching this island here with 150, some winds probably gusting 170, 180. And then the content of water, it's just amazing. This is just going to be terrible. Had to move vehicle 2 times after the accident. What happened? The guy fled the scene? You're in Kingston? Yes, it's developed quite a bit. Low levels around its northern side and south. The south side 165. Where'd you get that from? I haven't seen that. This thing is likely around 170 with more sustained low levels around the northern side and south side. What happened, buddy? All right, thank you. All right, so I can shut probably do it. Okay, so here we are back here. Um, Tuesday, and then let's go here next, and then you're probably going to start getting the impacts in about 28 hours. Landfalling 28 hours, probably. So 24 hours, trying to do some quick math in my head. Sorry. So 24 hours from now is tomorrow at 4:22. Okay, so one more. There you go. Bang. Okay, so this is going to hit probably overnight, of course. It's always weird. It's always weird with tropical systems. They always hit at night when people are sleeping. It's weird. That's what this is telling me. So 30 hours from, let's go back one more here. So between now and 30 hours. So now 28, 26 hours or so. But let's see how long this stays here. So 30 hours, it's right over you, basically. And then the next frame, 36 hours, it's still there. And then it moves off in 42 hours. So basically out of, is this Hispaniola here? And then it makes another landfall here in 48 hours. I believe this is Hispaniola here. Hold on a second. I can probably figure that out. 150 meters up. So 150 meters. Why can't I get that? Did the police blame him? Are you okay, buddy? Sean is here. Good to see you. Then she called me. I hope you're all right, buddy. It's good to see Grandma Sherry in here. I haven't seen you for so long. All right, so that's basically let me go back. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult to see because this is the ensembles here. So let's see. Hold on a second here. Stop that. But it looks like everybody's pretty it's looking that way for sure. It's looking like it's going to be, it was her accident on her way to work. Oh, okay. I've been trying to sleep at night, Dave. Yeah, I know. They were going to fine her $185. Hold on a second here. Where am I? Okay, so let's go forward a little bit. Monday, 18 hours out. 24 hours out. Everybody's pretty much in agreement here. You have some outliers here that are pushing it a little bit more west. That would be great if it went more west. If it did kind of like a curveball approach here, that'd be better for everybody. But everybody seems to be in agreement here for the next 30 hours for sure. And then it's basically so a couple of these have this coming in a little bit later. So basically within 24 hours or so, you're probably going to start feeling some impacts from this for sure. If not sooner, but let's go back here. So right now, this is the 23rd advisory. So this has been out here for a while. It's a persistent storm for sure, but there's nowhere for this to go. So that's the reason. So as of 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Monday, which is today, the 27th, the 23rd advisory. So 23rd A, they're probably going to have another one coming out at 5. Maximum sustained winds 130 knots, 150 miles an hour. So this is a catastrophic hurricane. This is a bad one. The pressure's down to 926. I wouldn't doubt if this goes through another eyewall replacement cycle though before it hits land. And if you're plotting at home, this is located 16.3 north, 77.7 west, and its movement. It's 5 miles an hour. That's going to take forever to get to where you are. So that's but that's up from where it was a few hours ago. It was only 2. All right, so this is we've read this already. Damaging winds and heavy rainfall tonight. Monday will cause catastrophic and life-threatening flash flood. This is the issue here. In extensive infrastructural damage, long duration power. You're going to lose power for sure. Isolation of communities are expected. And then this is the cone here. So here in the Gulf, I mean in the Caribbean here, this is where it doesn't look like it's going to start to lose any steam until it gets into the Atlantic here. It's going to because this water here is just bath water. It's and it's not moving, so that's another reason. So 8 p.m. Monday. This is 8 p.m. Tuesday. It's basically over Jamaica here. These are all the warnings here, all the watches, obviously. This is a serious problem here. But once it gets out into the Atlantic here and it gets up into Bermuda, may be in play too here. But obviously, you can see it's not going to affect any of the continental U.S. here. But once it gets out into the open Atlantic here, it's going to fall apart pretty quick. I wouldn't be surprised once it gets past Bermuda if it's extra tropical at that point. What do I do? Okay. Let's do this here. Sorry. Okay, this is the 4-day rainfall forecast here. And these numbers are just nightmarish, right? These numbers here. Boston Christian's here. Hey, good to see you, Boston Christian. It's been going through mergers, but not much regarding ERCs. Might go through one and get very large after though. What's happening in and around Orlando? Yeah, well, Southern Florida's been getting pounded all year. They don't need anything like necessarily evils here. Where's Chuck? If Charlie Manson's here, good to see you, buddy. Brian No Best is here. Good to see you. I was just over. I'm going to give Brian. I'll give you a wrench here in a minute. Give me a second. Brian Pino Best is awesome. I was just over there on his channel. Great channel. Good to see you. All right. So this is the forecasted flooding here. Rainfall 4-day forecast. So in this, obviously in this, this is the east. This probably would be the east of dirty side here. You're talking these numbers are just hellish. Right in this purple is about 30 plus inches of rain. You got to be kidding me. 20 to 30, and in the darker shade of purple, I'm pretty sure that's purple, is 30 plus. That's just a rainfall. And then obviously, the more you go out from the system here, but even 16 to 20 inches of freaking rain. And then once you get into, I don't know what this is. This is Cuba here. So once it passes over Jamaica, it's going to hit Bermuda here. I'm sorry, not Bermuda, Cuba here. And you're still talking a tremendous up to 40 inches of rain here. Possible up to 40 inches. Can you imagine that? Holy crap. That's not good. Of course, they like to scare the shit out of people, but um, this is possible. I mean, this is a pretty good sized system here. Um, Next update at 12 and the 27th. So this will be updated here. But anybody on the eastern side of this is going to get pounded with rain, no doubt. Let's do let's do okay, so anywhere you see in the purple, the dark purple is 90 plus. So wind speeds 90 plus. That's basically the whole island of Jamaica. It's the entirety of Jamaica. Um, so this is going to be a problem. 90 plus wind speeds. Um, Probability is less than 1%. Wind speed probabilities for selected locations. Um, Grand Turk Island here. I wish I could get, pretty sure I could get a buoy here, but I don't know if I want to stay on here that long. Um, all right, so let's go back to rip currents here. So we're not going to have to worry too much about the rip currents here. Once it gets over into the Atlantic, maybe. Yeah, you got some here. High all the way up from the Florida coast all the way to South Carolina, and then this will probably um, get a little bit more once it gets out into the Atlantic, depending on how strong this is. But these have been pretty high all year here. So um, the good news about the Atlantic is it's starting to get cooler now. So um, the Atlantic hurricane season is pretty much over. This system here this is going to be a problem here. No, nothing can survive. It's very few things can withstand. I mean, people don't like category 5 hurricane is if we ever had a category 5 hurricane up here, we'd all be dead. I mean, it's just that's how bad it is. We have all the tall pines up here. We had the highest recorded hurricane we had up here, I think, was back in 38, and it literally devastated the entire coastline. And it's just so no, it's a bad. It's going to be bad, and it's not so much the wind that kills people. It's the water. I mean, the surge. This has been like percolating in the Caribbean here for the last couple of days, and it's not going to end soon. So it's going to bring all of that water in. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. All right, so let's listen to some professionals here, and then I'll get out of here. Hold on a second. Let's hear from sooner than later. Um, Hold on one second here. Do do 7 hours ago, 1 hour ago. Let's do Trying to find something local as much as I can. One second here. We'll do this here. This is 3 minutes here. Share this here. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. The best thing to do is listen to you gotta if you haven't gotten batteries for your phones, charge your phones for sure. I always recommend, we lose power here all the time, so I always recommend getting a regular transistor radio, battery powered transistor radio, and buy batteries because at least you have a radio, right? To listen to uh and just listen to um as much information as you can. Information is always key. All right, so this is coming from WX212 News, and I'll try to see if I can get radar down there. This was done 4 hours ago. So here we go.
All right, and with that, we say good Monday morning. Football ran a little late tonight. Laney is here, and we are bracing for an interesting work week. The kind of work week we haven't had in a while, right?
No, it's going to be cold, I think, and also wet. So we've got some rain in the forecast, chilly, damp.
It's good to see everybody here in the chat. I didn't expect to see a lot of people, but I just hope everybody stays safe. I know that Shibby was in here. So I hope his people that he knows are okay.
Weather this week. Now, out there today, of course, we had a lot of clouds. Didn't have much in the way of rain, but we did manage to get just a few drops in here late tonight. So we're going to start to see those sprinkles developing into more of a light to moderate rain showers that will pass through. Our rain chances increasing this week. Temperatures staying quite chilly with highs only in the 50s. So it's chilly and damp. You're going to need those umbrellas.
50s is warm. It's probably 30 degrees here right now.
Rain jackets. We will be drying out, it looks like, in time for Halloween, so we'll wait for that. Now, the high today is 63 degrees, definitely below our average high of 68, but check out the high temperatures that are ahead. These look more like lows. Highs will be in the low 50s Monday and Tuesday.
That's that system that's coming across the country, that low pressure system. It's making everybody feel chilly.
Tuesday, and then a gradual climb toward the end of the week. We are 51 right now in Greensboro, 50 in Winston-Salem, Mount Airy right now at 49, Galax at 45. Dew points are starting to.
But this system here that's coming through is actually a good thing because it's preventing this hurricane from hitting here.
Up. They were in the 30s earlier today, so when we get those temperatures and dew points a little closer, that's when we see a lot of this rain make it down to the ground. So we had initially a little dry layer of air, so we had a lot of virga earlier, but we'll start to see at least some of this rain coming through. So some light to moderate rain showers.
All right, let's
overnight.
Go here.
Of rain heading into Wednesday, so we'll dry out a little bit Tuesday afternoon, and then we'll see shaping up out to the west another weather system that is going to bring in a better chance for some wet weather on Wednesday. So you'll see our rain chances going up by then. We talked a little bit about Hurricane Melissa at the top of the newscast. We've got 145 mile per hour winds, category 4, but this one is expected to potentially increase to a category 5 storm before it will cross over Jamaica and then the eastern part of Cuba still as a hurricane. It is going to stay off the coast of the U.S., so that is good news for us, but terrible news for the folks down there over the island nations. You can see double-digit rainfall totals are in the forecast. Mountainous terrain, so we're talking about flooding and landslides in that area. Here's a check of our forecast. 7-day forecast does have temperatures in the 50s, gradually warming up into the weekend.
Really? It's kind of like basketball weather out there.
Okay, so hold on a second. I'll play this. Hold on one second here. Let me play this one here. Right here. Okay. What was that? Hold on a second. New drop sound estimate 156 knots. So that's about 164. It's suddenly defeating its problem with its winds not being consistent with height. This is going to be a problem. Yes. Yes. Anytime the pressure starts like the pressure earlier in the morning was at like 9:33, and then there'll be another advisory coming out at 5. So, but at 2 o'clock the pressure was down to 9:26. That's definitely an indicator that it's getting better organized. But it's going to be. The jury's still out though on whether the eye wall is going to start to replace itself or not. I'll keep an eye on that, but I'll be sleeping by that time. But don't worry about the categories. When these systems hit, I say don't. I mean, I just wish they'd get rid of the Saffir-Simpson scale altogether, right? Like just because that's what people are just fixed on a number. But I've seen tropical storms, man, kill a lot of people. Right, like pressure's at 921. It's a powerful, even a category 1 hurricane, man. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, the best thing to do is to just hunker down, listen to local officials. I don't know how it is down there, but
hurricane in the Central Caribbean. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on. Of course, we've had 13.
And it's really been, I mean, they were expecting it's close to what they were expecting, but they were expecting to get to S this year here, and this will be the strongest landfalling hurricane to date this year, probably.
Named storms so far this season. We had about 3 weeks where it was pretty quiet. We were starting to wonder, would this just be a super slow season? But really September and for just about all of October, things have been rocking out there in the tropics. And of course, most recently we had Melissa, our most recent name.
Exactly. Harvey, Tropical Storm Harvey was a problem because it just wouldn't leave. I mean, it went in, came out, and it had another landfall. I mean, places like Texas, eastern Texas, the Bayou, places that are already under sea level to begin with. Anytime you get, we had a storm here too in the United States that wasn't technically a tropical storm, but the moisture in the atmosphere actually caused all of that flooding in Texas earlier in the year. So I just wish they'd get Grandma Sherry's taken off. Good night, Grandma Sherry. It's always good to see you. Once water starts to move, man, good luck stopping it.
Storm, and it has grown from a tropical storm yesterday morning all the way to a deadly.
It was a tropical storm yesterday morning, and now it's basically a monster.
Catastrophic, potentially category 4 hurricane for today. So that is some super rapid intensification. You really just need a tropical system to basically have wind speeds increase at least 35 miles per hour in less than 24 hours. This one has increased about 70 plus miles per hour in the last 24 hours. So this is a very powerful system. That means now that we've had 13 named storms, of course. We've had now 5 hurricanes for the 2025 Atlantic Basin hurricane season. And out of those 5 hurricanes, 4 have been major hurricanes. So next name on the list would be Nestor. Thank goodness, no signs of that developing at this point. So far for this season, as I mentioned, we're getting closer to those average numbers. 13 named storms. We're 1 back from our average of 14. Now 5 hurricanes for this season, just 2 back from our average of 7. And now we have surpassed the Colorado State University prediction of major hurricanes for this season. That was 3, and our average number of major hurricanes is 3. And now we're up to 4.
So we got 2025, 13 named storms, 5 hurricanes, 4 majors. So this is where the numbers are starting to get overboard, right? This is the average 14, 7, and 3. But there's been basically a big increase here in the number of major hurricanes. And the hurricanes these days here, they go from, you know, depressions to category 4 or 5s really quickly.
So yes, it has been a busy kind of last part.
Look at this thing.
Last leg.
Look at this fucking thing. Look at this storm. Oh my God. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing. This is terrible. Look at this thing. Wow. Can you guys see that? Look at that eye wall. Holy shit. Wow. Look at they're gonna get some of these outer bands here. You know, you could see, look at this thing. This is a monster. Some of these outer band, Port-au-Prince, all of these islands here from eastern, the eastern half of Jamaica here, all the way up until some of these outer islands here. Wow. This is a dangerous storm, bro.
If you will, of this hurricane season. All right, let's go ahead and look at this whopper of a hurricane. It has just grown so tremendously over the last.
Look at that. It's so beautiful. That eye is so, I mean, this is textbook hurricane here.
Several hours, the last 24 hours, like I said, from a kind of ragged tropical storm to a super impressive, almost perfect looking hurricane out there. You can see a very well defined.
All of these darker reds here, they paint these in here. These are really the higher cloud tops, but this is where all of the severe, you wouldn't be surprised to see vortices in here too. This is bad. And this is the southeastern side quadrant here. So you take the hurricane and you do kind of like a T through it, right? So the southeastern quadrant here.
Eye wall. It is very symmetrical, and it is getting uncomfortably close to the island of Jamaica. In fact, it's only about 100 miles south of Jamaica right now, and it is just looking super impressive on our satellite radar. And we are going to continue.
Catastrophic flash flooding and landslides likely for Jamaica and southern Hispaniola through midweek. Up to 13 feet of storm surge east of the center. Oh, God.
With this potential devastating situation for Jamaica, we do have Hurricane Melissa that grew, as I mentioned, from a tropical storm to a Category 4 hurricane in less than 24 hours. Catastrophic flash flooding and landslides likely for Jamaica and southern Hispaniola through midweek.
Yeah, this is a beautiful looking storm. Oh, who will get hit first, second, or third? It looks like, to me, if I had to put money on it, anybody east of, like on the eastern side of Jamaica, right? You go, because the Caribbean islands are made up of all kinds of little tiny. You're going to feel impacts. All the way out to some of these outer Caribbean islands here, from outer bands, but everybody east, I would say, if you took Jamaica and went quarter from first quarter all the way across the island there, they are going to get buried.
And maybe up to 13 feet of storm surge east of the center.
Because it's not like it's going to go and make landfall and then quickly, move up out of there. It's going to stay there for a while. That's the worst thing.
At landfall over Jamaica. So a lot of impact. So folks across Jamaica are trying to kind of hide from the wind, run.
Yeah, she's definitely my favorite weather forecaster. So this is the this was developed about 600,000 years ago. Cat 1, 74 to 95. Cat 2, obviously, the higher you get. There is no category 6. So anything above a category 5 is considered to be catastrophic, right? But I wish they would just get rid of this whole number system, because people hear numbers and they just, oh, it's only going to be a category 1, no problem. They hear category 5 and they're like, oh, let's get out of here, right? But, I've seen category 1 hurricanes do more damage than category 5 hurricanes. I've seen the reverse too. So just say it's going to be a hurricane, hunker down. Just do whatever you got to do to survive, because
from that deadly potentially storm surge up to 13 feet, and it's just all sorts of hazards. They're saying that some whole communities could have communication cut off for days due to the fact that this is such a powerful hurricane. So right now, Melissa is a category 4. That means it's in between 130 to 156 miles per hour, but it's actually forecast to blow up into a category 5 hurricane. That would be wind gusts closer to 157 miles per hour.
157 miles an hour will flip a car.
Or greater. So notice our official forecast does have Hurricane Melissa.
So this was the 4 p.m. yesterday advisory. So we're already down. So they were at 941 then. So if we're at 921 now, then you can almost bet your bottom dollar that this thing here is now a category 5.
Strengthening into a category 5, and that is as bad as it gets. At this point, it is a little stronger than it was earlier in the day. 145 mile per hour winds, pressure continues to fall, 941 millibars, and it is still moving west at 5.
So Port-au-Prince here, especially the western side, Cuba, and even some of the Turks and Caicos here, once this storm starts to get into this little throughway here, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys saw some of that, especially if it takes and goes kind of like this here, the curveball, like I mentioned before, kind of goes north and then, northeast here.
5 miles per hour, but it is expected to start to take that turn and that jog to the north and roll right over Jamaica over the next 24 to 36 hours. So notice it's still a Cat 4 by 1 a.m. Monday, but by early Tuesday morning, it is forecast by the National Hurricane Center to become a Category 5. That is horrible. At first, it looked like
the eastern side of this here, the east, the dirty side, this southeastern quadrant, even the northeastern quadrant here, is going to just push all of this water that's coming with this into this coastline here. Just inundate this coastline with churned up water. It's going to be bad.
Melissa would just kind of skirt by Jamaica, but now it is expected to make a direct landfall and slam right into Jamaica. So to the right of that center, that's where we're expecting that storm surge of 9.
And it's still going to be a Category 3 here once it gets to Santiago, Cuba here. So, once it gets past, so we got 1 a.m. Monday, 1 p.m. Tuesday, and in a daytime, 1 day span, it's going to be into, so it's going to be churning around in here for a while.
9 to 13 feet. There could be as much as 3 feet of rain for parts of Jamaica over the coming days. And yes, the hurricane force winds will be a huge issue. We're talking about several hours of winds over 100 miles per hour. So this is a potentially catastrophic situation for people that own houses in Jamaica, maybe rental properties, maybe you are planning a cruise or vacationing here. There are certainly going to be some major.
You picked the wrong week. That's all I can say.
Major interruptions to people's lives. And
all right, so that's it for me. So if you're you know, if you have family or if you know anybody that's kind of in this general area between now and Wednesday, I would basically tell them to do as much as you can to prepare, you know, just follow all the local, you know, what the locals are telling you, the local authorities are telling you to do, because um this is going to be hell here for the next couple of days for sure. Um but that's it for me. I want to thank everybody for coming in. I'll try to do another live tomorrow morning about this if it possible. But I thank you guys all. Thank you, John Paul Hansen. Hope you're okay. Um, hope things are going good for you. Mustang, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it. Boston Christian's awesome. Thank you, Boston Christian. I know there were some new people in here too, so I want to get to Garrett. Thank you very much for all the information. Appreciate that. I'm going to try to get some of the information. Boston Christian, Garrett. I know that Peggy O was in here. Peggy O, thank you. Grandma Sherry, thank you, Grandma Sherry. I hope you have a good week. Sweet dude Shibby was in here. Thank you, buddy, for coming in. Appreciate it. Shibby's awesome. I hope your people who are down there that you know are going to be okay. Literally why I do this stuff. All right. And I know there were other people here. Hide current comment. Pressure's 9921. Yeah, it's terrible. Chuck was in here. Chuck is awesome. Chuck is the man when it comes to cares. For sure. Let's see. I know that Brian Knows Best was in here. Known Best is in here. He's got a great channel. I got to get him a wrench so he can put his chat in here. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Do that right now. Okay, where'd he go? Two seconds here. Um, where'd he go? Well, anyways, once I find you in my chat thing here, I'll give you a wrench here. That way you can, you know, put your channel in here. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a good week. I was on Peggy O's live stream tonight, 5.5 hours. We had Holman deposition. Oh, you guys were live again tonight? Shit, I missed that. How did I miss that? Oh, sorry, Peggy O. I'll try to watch the replay while I go to sleep here. But I'm going to get out of here. I hope everybody stays safe. I'll see you guys either tomorrow morning or on our next live. We finished before this. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a good day. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe. Thank you, guys.